Kobe freaking Bryant. Wow. Honestly, I sat there and the first thing as soon as it came up on my phone, I was like, oh, this is a hoax. I think a lot of us all have seen the different hoaxes that have gone out there, and it took, this is a few days later that I'm getting this up, and it's nothing that I'm trying to break news or talk about it as soon as it happens or anything. Everyone grieves in their own way, and out of respect for, certain people, it's honestly shocking. As you can tell, I'm still kind of confused and like, what the crap, man? How did that happen? Like, of course we know how it happens, but I think there are people in life that we almost put in our heads of godlike, and I know that's sad, and no one, and I'm gonna try and stick away from religion, but if we go back in, no one, don't idolize anyone else, but as humans, we sin, and whatever it is, whatever you believe in, no one is a god, even if you believe in that or not. If you actually take the definition, let's say you don't believe in any Christianity or religion, and we're just taking the definition of God as the word of what it is, there's still no one on earth like that. And I think what's crazy is, yes, I actually follow sports a lot, and basketball's not I played basketball for a long time, but basketball's not my go-to. It's actually football, and I still watch it. I'm a lover of sports. I like all types of competitiveness. And Olympics comes around, I'm getting into some curling. Whatever it may be. Best feeling I remember is watching Michael Phelps and that relay team. I think it was 2008 in Beijing. Was awesome. The French were like, we're gonna crush the Americans, and he was like, nah, no, you're not. Jason Lezak came out of nowhere. But Kobe it was crazy because even when he was alive, that's crazy, we have to say it that way, when he was playing, I didn't feel that way. He was a GOAT, everyone's gonna, for years and years, as long as we live, different conversations are gonna go on where Kobe, LeBron, and Michael, and of course we're always gonna have that, and this is not what this video is about or anything like that, but let's put him as the GOAT. He deserves that for as long as we can give it to him. I mean, the way he played the game, not only the work ethic. I encourage all of you to go and read about Kobe and to study up on Kobe. He was going in the gym 4 or 5 in the morning. He was there before anyone else. He put in the work. He's not some showboat high school kid that came out of high school, or showboat kids now that we have that come out of college and are not going to work. We're going to sit out some games because I'm going to go number 1 in the NBA draft, and I'm just that great. And then when I get into the NBA, I don't need to try so hard. Newsflash, if you want to be the greatest, you're going to have to try. You're going to have to work. And Kobe proved that. Kobe was like, I am just by myself without working better than half of this league, but I don't want to be better than half this league. I want to be the absolute best. So he went in and he put in the work, and he worked his ass off to be the best at something. And he had that, he gave himself Black Mamba, the nickname, and he made sure that every day he left everything on the court. And there's tons of interviews after he retired that you can go and look at, and one of the things that he talks about is how he was able to walk away from the game because at the end of the day, he knew right away that he did everything he could. There was not a moment that he couldn't regret. He couldn't go back and regret that he didn't try hard enough, that he didn't work hard enough. And that's amazing. How many times are we scared to even just try because we know we're probably going to fail? All this mumbo jumbo that I will definitely get into another day, but this is about Kobe, so you know, and for me, I was like, dang, I heard the news. That's crazy. And then when you heard about his daughter, that was heartbreaking. I follow women's college basketball, so UConn Huskies. So I actually knew of Gigi Gianna because, she wanted to go there, and you see Kobe at some of the games on TV and stuff, and that got me looking. I'm like, oh, okay. And then you see videos about her, and of course, I know everyone's probably seen the Jimmy Kimmel interview where Kobe's talking about how people go up to him all the time and say, hey, man, you've got to have a son, basically. And his daughter's right next to him. It's like, hey, I got this. I'll carry on this legacy. And it's sad, but looking back at it, or looking on it now, I guess would be the word, he was an amazing dad. He worked so hard, and whenever he was done and walked away, and there's another interview he gave. It's in an article, I'm sorry, I don't know, so I couldn't tell y'all where. I just remember reading. I've read a lot over the last few days, who hasn't, everyone's covering it, so I remember reading that the interviewer asked if he was going to Lakers game that night. This is after he's retired, and he knew as he was asking, Kobe wouldn't be at that game because Kobe's daughter had a volleyball match, and he was going to be there, and he's like, no, I'm not going to be there, and he didn't miss. Of course, he loved basketball. I'm sure in some aspect he missed it, but he wanted to be at his daughter's games. He missed a lot of moments growing up, and he wanted those moments, and that's what it's about, as we sit and everyone remembers Kobe and what he did, and as we're really seeing the lives that he touched all over the world, not just the United States, as we sit and we see all that, and we see how great this guy was, great of a man he was, like, it's crazy. And everyone talks about, like, how he was kind of mellow, how he chilled out, and that's, like, what almost gave him, in my eyes, like, that presence, that godlike, not God, but godlike presence of just like, whoa, it's Kobe Bryant, like, because he was so mellow, because he was like going into his mentoring shit, he's talking to people, he's growing other people, and that's what's crazy. Like, I think the best people in life are the ones that almost don't want certain things, but that's what makes them great. And it's ironic in a way. Example was like our best president ever would be someone who doesn't actually want to be president because it's so much power. But we also don't want someone who's not going to be there, who doesn't want to be. Anyways, that's way off topic. But getting back to Kobe Bryant, the more mellow he got, the more almost like humble he was, and truly grateful and appreciative. Not cocky anymore. And I'm sure, though, if he stepped on that court, that switch came on, that Sasha Fierce, that Black Mamba, that switch comes on where you become somebody else, and those moments on that court when you're playing basketball, and we pray for his family. Again, if you're not religious, good thoughts sent to his family and to the other 7 people that lost their lives. It is a tragedy, and as we look back on, everyone for this last few days have kind of stopped, and I am still reading and hearing about other things, other media, other bad things that are happening in the world. I'm thankful that sports does bring us together. My girlfriend always talks to me, like, she gets sports, but she doesn't get sports, and when I try to explain, like, it's not so much about, like, I want to go see 2 people kill each other, someone win with, it's just a ball going in a hoop, or it's just a pigskin flying through the air. No, sports is about bringing people together. So is music. It's about people coming together, strangers coming together, and and understanding, and for maybe whether it's 30 minutes or 45 minutes, whatever it may be, Super Bowl's coming up, however long that is, we're just watching and we're not really worried about our lives or anything else. We're stuck on this. And in a tragic way, sports brought us together again. And Kobe, thank you for giving us all the time that you have. And we look back and we know it's never we never know when we're gonna go. And I did not think that I was gonna wake up and see that, or be at work and see that. It was a shot to the gut, and for the people that actually did get to meet him and the lives he did touch. That's crazy, right? Like, I can't imagine what those families are going through. His family, but also the other ones. There was people that lost their mom and their sister. A husband lost his wife. A wife lost her husband. Tons of different tragedies, not just Kobe and Gigi's, but it is very sad. And with my brain and how I do think about, how fast was it? What would you have done in that helicopter? You 2 seconds, maybe nothing. I don't know, but hopefully they didn't suffer. Thank y'all for letting me just chat and get it all off my chest, and hopefully y'all take a moment, hug your loved ones, and just remember everything great in our lives, and stop to take a moment and breathe and just look around and enjoy the small things and the simple things in life. And it's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And I think that's true happiness. We have tons of people every day that look for something. Enjoy what you have. Enjoy the simple things, whether it's getting up, making a cup of coffee, whether it's hugging your children or your parents. I'm very grateful that I still have both of mine, so I can call my mom, I can call my dad, and be like, hey, I love y'all. It's very sad that we have to have the tragedy for us to think like that sometimes, but Kobe Bryant, you were amazing in everything that you did. Yes, you were not a perfect man, but there is no one that is perfect. But at the end of the day, you were a good one. And the world could use a lot more of them. We lost your daughter as well, and along with the other 7 tragedies that happened, tragic deaths. An angel we'll never get to see play. We'll never get to watch her grow up and be, as you said it, carry on your legacy. Maybe that was it. Maybe we didn't need your legacy carried on because it was so great. I think, what's that saying, legends never die, or something like that. His legacy will live on. His legend lives on. People will always say Kobe when they're shooting in a bucket. I watch basketball because of Kobe Bryant, and I'll continue to watch it because of him. Thank you guys again. Remember to appreciate the small things, the simple things of life. Just enjoy life, guys.